Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into something a little bit more serious than usual, but it's something that I've been doing a lot of research on and something that I feel very passionate towards, so it's something that I just wanted to come up here and talk about. How many times can Victoria say something in one sentence? I know I don't have much, if any, influence, but if I can encourage just one person to be a little bit more aware of how it's affecting the earth and affecting people in developing countries, then I'd count that as a win. So what is fast fashion, you ask? If you've never heard of it, that's not really surprising to me, but I'm going to change that right now. Fast fashion is essentially cheap labor at a high cost. The cost being a couple different things. One high cost of fast fashion is inexpensive clothing being produced rapidly by mass market retailers in response to the latest trends. The goal for retailers is to put out clothing at the cheapest price possible in the fastest way possible so that consumers will keep coming back more and more often. So then rather than restocking items when they sell out, they will change them for completely different styles to keep up with the rapidly increasing and evolving fashion industry. Which then brings us into the throwaway attitude, where because clothing is being made so quickly and the fabric is being a lot cheaper and lower quality, people are more likely to buy and throw away things a lot sooner, resulting in the retailers making more and more money. And with that, a lot of the fabric also ends up in landfills where it can sometimes take up to 200 years to decompose. Just the United States alone sends about 21 billion pounds of fabric to landfills every single year. The second high cost of fast fashion that I'm going to talk about is the negative impact it has on countries across seas in developing countries, where the majority of manufacturers are for huge clothing brands. All these mass market retails go overseas where the manufacturing costs are way lower, and in most cases the working conditions are extremely poor. One of the things I found online was that from 2001 to 2010, 75,000 jobs in Canadian garment industry were lost due to companies seeking cheap manufacturing overseas. Some of the main countries that are affected by this are Bangladesh, China, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Sri Lanka. People who are mainly women and some as young as 14 are forced to work in these unsafe and toxic environments for as long as sometimes 12 or 13 hours a day for next to nothing. There was a documentary type video that I watched on YouTube. I took notes on it and I'm planning on doing a video just solely on that and the working conditions and how a lot of these women are treated in the factories. The documentary that really started bringing this to my attention was a documentary on Netflix called The True Cost. There have been thousands of deaths and injuries in garment factories overseas that are making clothing that we buy without even thinking about it, just because people prioritize money over workers' safety.
12 people were killed in another major factory fire. 30,000 Chinese workers have been on strike.
Garment workers in Bangladesh paying the price for cheap clothing.
I really do want to get more into detail on events such as the Rana Plaza collapse in 2013 that happened, where 1,100 people died and 2,500 people were injured just because the owner ignored safety concerns about the rough shape that the building was in. Now, before I end this kind of introductory video on a topic that I'm probably going to be talking about a lot more on my channel, I want to share some big names that are in the fast fashion industry that include Zara, Gap, Old Navy, Forever 21, H&M, Joe Fresh, and Topshop. And there are many more on a huge list that I could spend forever naming off of. Like I mentioned earlier, the documentary that got me kind of started on this whole topic was one on Netflix called The True Cost. It is an incredible documentary that kind of shines light on the fast fashion industry and how it affects the people, and it kind of surfaces around Bangladesh. And that's why I've learned so much about that country. I know more about what's going on in Bangladesh than other countries because I haven't gotten that far, but I'm continuing to do my research on other ones so that I can get further knowledge on other countries. There's another video, I think it's about 45 minutes long, that I watched on YouTube, and it's called Made in Bangladesh. And it's actually a video where a designer for, I think, Walmart, he didn't know where his clothes were being made, and he didn't know kind of what conditions they were being made in, so he wanted to check it out, and he went there and got the knowledge and got to see where his stuff was being made. I will link those two in the description below, along with a couple other links where I got a lot of my information from and where I think that kind of gives a lot of, I just hit my microphone, that it gives a lot of information. What am I saying? I don't know, something like that. You know what I'm trying to say. There's links that you can go to learn more about this topic if you want. If you made it through this whole video, thank you so much for watching. I hope that it kind of changed your mind a little bit. I hope it has encouraged you to hopefully be more aware of the kind of things, or maybe do a little bit more research if it's something that you're interested in. That's kind of my goal for this whole thing. If you're new here and want to subscribe, I also do some lighthearted videos as well as these type of videos. All my social media links will be in the description below, and I will see you in the next video.